And welcome to Effing White People, your friendly neighborhood white people. Today we will be talking about 80s and 90s trends and things. So, Harry, what you got?
Wow, just that's all you got on you opening? Okay, no, that's fine. It's fine. Let the artiste. I think one of the reasons why we wanted to do this is because, as we all know, well, first off, to give you a little to let our secret out. We're over 40s. Oh no! People know we're old. Um, I was born in '83. Brandy was born in '87. 82. Yeah, she's older than me. Eh. Yeah, I still look older. But I think one of the reasons why we hang on and we love talking about shit from the 80s and 90s, because we're also known as the nostalgia era, is because if you look at kids who were born in the 80s, and then, but they're really 90s kids, like you and I, um, we yearn more for the 80s part because in the 90s, that's when we started noticing shit going downhill.
I would say we're nostalgic for the 80s and the 90s. I mean, I think that.
Well, the early 90s, but like by the mid to late 90s, I mean, and hell, by the time 2000 got here, we're like, well, the G Dubs and all this, this can go great. 1 year later. But let's start off with the fashion of the 80s versus the fashion of the 90s.
Okay.
Now, what do you remember about the fashion of the 80s?
Lots of neon,
Very vibrant,
very vibrant, very bright, lots of big hair.
a lot of contrasting patterns in fashion, right?
I don't remember contrasting pattern.
Really? You don't remember those jumpsuits those like windbreaker jumpsuits that had like, you know, a bunch of different lines and colors and kind of looked like if you took several different colored panes of glass and broke them and made clothing out of it, that's what it looked like.
No.
That, look it up. The 80s fashion, well, they also did have like whitewashed jeans and, I mean, hell, good example right here. Think of Van Halen, Roth, not Hagar, but think of Van Halen's outfits.
Okay.
Picture that in your mind. What do you see?
I don't have a I don't have a memory like that. My memory doesn't do images, so.
Oh yeah, you're one of those unfortunate people that can't see things in your brain. All right, well let me pull something up for you real quick. That rearranged sound that you're hearing in the background possibly is our litter box because the cats just took a shit. And, like, all right. So this right here, it's got like the swirls and the squares and all just kind of. It looks like somebody just tried to quilt a bunch of shit together, but didn't do it in the quilt pattern.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Okay. But then you also have your classic kind of whitewashed jeans and your bomber jackets and then you've like that. And then of course you got like the Madonna style, which is, what can I get at Goodwill and throw it on? That's just the most obnoxious thing at Goodwill. And like you said earlier, big hair, lots of perms.
Lots of perms. I do remember a lot of perms. I had permed hair.
I did not. Um,
Did you have hair even back in the 80s? Probably not.
I had fucking hair in the 80s. It was glorious too. It was full. It was wavy. Oh, there was people jealous of my hair. Every time I go get a haircut, they'd always be like, "Oh, I want your hair. It's so wavy and curly." I'd be like, "Cut it all off." But it's so pretty. But and then, well, also the we saw in the 80s, a kind of change from disco kind of free life, free drugs, tail end of the hippie era to, and I can't remember what they call them, basically the Reaganites.
The yuppies?
The yuppies, there you go. Where it was all of a sudden hip to be square. Another thing the 80s brought us? Fucking MTV.
They did bring us some TV. Scrunchies were all the rage. MTV was all the rage.
What's the leg warmers?
Leg warmers were all the rage.
Challenger blowing up.
Way to bring us down.
Hey, I blew this up. Like it. Massive, dude. Wasn't there a teacher on there? Wasn't there like people on there that weren't necessarily astronauts?
Yeah. Yeah, we sent a teacher to space, but she died. She died in the explosion.
What else do we have in the 80s? As far as like fashion goes. Because we have the yuppie style.
We have parachute pants.
Parachute pants, MC Hammer. Oh, the birth of fucking hip hop and rap music.
We had Cabbage Patch Kids and Walkmans.
We also had kind of really the birth of metal. Oh. Because we were given bands like Metallica, Megadeth, Manowar, Axl. Apparently also Clutch started in the 80s. Or did they start in the 90s? I think they might have started in the 90s. But we did see a shift. Yeah, we had glam rock too. That's one thing I didn't like about the 80s.
Glam rock?
Yeah, I'm not like a Motley Crue fan. I'm not a Van Halen fan. I'm not that big hair, kind of sexualized nonsense. To me, that just screams, "Oh, you're a sexual predator." Because let's face it, I think everybody except maybe Bon Jovi, which I'm sure we might find something out there. But all those glam, big hair bands, you good?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, all those big hair bands, they screamed, "Fucking, I'm a sexual predator."
Yeah. Hair metal was the thing in the 80s. I think that's something that we can all be ashamed of.
I wouldn't call it hair metal. I would just call it glam rock.
Well, they called it hair metal.
No, they call it glam rock.
Those are probably hair metal.
Yeah, no, fuck them. They're not metal.
What about the 90s? What do you remember about the 90s?
Are we done with the 80s for so far?
We can come back to it, but this is an 80s and 90s show, so.
I figured we touch a little bit more on the 80s before we get into the fucking 90s.
Well, the 90s to me are easier to remember because I wasn't, I was 8 years old when the Ace and when it.
Say what? Well, it's the greatest damn cartoons, even though some carried over from the 70s, but He-Man, Transformers, Thundercats. And some people will like the other shows like the Smurfs and Fraggle Rock and My Little Pony and whatnot. But we also got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Skip It.
I remember the Skip It.
We got Signing Says. Well, we got this.
We had flat bracelets.
We got fucking Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, I got a Nintendo in the 80s. It was one of the greatest Christmas gifts ever. And I remember this because it was one of the few years I actually got presents. But at the time, that year, my dad had taken us to his current girlfriend's house or mother's house for Christmas. And the woman that he was dating at the time, her kids were bastards. They're mean and obnoxious and shit like that. Like I remember sitting there at their grandmother's house, and they were like, "Yeah, I got this for Christmas. Yeah, and what did you get?" Yeah, and me and my sister just sitting there going. We opened up like a couple of gifts that they brought over. And I got like this remote control boat. I can't remember what and when I got, but afterwards they were like, "All right, so." They left her kids with the grandparents. And they're like, "We're going to take you guys back to the apartment. Yeah, because we got some more Christmas gifts for you guys. Okay?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." We get back, and we got a couple other things I can't remember. But then they were like, "Here,
and they gave us a fucking Nintendo. And I was like, are you kidding me? And it came with, obviously, Super Mario Brothers. It also came with track and field. And they gave us, it also came with Duck Hunt. And we got the Mac for track and field. Needless to say, when the bastard children came back to the apartment and the Nintendo was hooked up and we were playing it, yeah, their Christmas gifts all of a sudden weren't that cool anymore.
Not compared to a Nintendo.
And what really pissed them off was the fact that we were like, okay, yeah, well, see, here's the thing. We're going to take this Nintendo home with us because we didn't live with David at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to take all this cool stuff that you got to watch us playing away from you. Oh, yeah, by the way, fuck you. But, all right, the 90s.
But I brought it to Sega.
Yeah, we got the Sega. We also got fucking PlayStation. We got Dreamcast. We got, I think the SNES came out in the late 80s, possibly early 90s. But we also got a Nintendo 64. And I don't think the Xbox came out yet. But the Sega, we got that. But one of my favorites was the Sega Saturn. It had where you put in cartridges, but you could also, it had a CD-ROM on, a CD player on, or you play disc games. And yeah, I was like, no, this is fucking tick, man. Hey, did I bring one?
What?
Bottle. I'll be right back. Right, the 90s. And one of the things I cannot stand about the 90s, for the most part, is the music.
The 90s had good music, motherfucker.
I will say that as a kid growing up in the 90s, I did listen to that music because it was coming out. But as I've gotten older, I definitely feel myself not listening to fucking 90s music anymore. Especially the genre of music that defined the 90s.
Grunge.
Grunge. The godfather of emo. And I will die on that hill. I don't care what amount of evil glare you're giving me right now. Grunge is emo.
Grunge is not emo. Emo is like fucking My Chemical Romance.
I mean, it just evolved into that.
No.
Because the pop and the punk music that we know and love today, that style and genre was not the same style that it started off with. So emo evolved.
But not from grunge.
Really?
Now,
What are a lot around the bands and tell me that they're not? Oh,
emo evolved from goth music.
no,
Yes.
no.
The goths of our day turned into the emos of the 2000s.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Because emo is about singing and writing about your feelings and events in your life that were, traumatic and shit like that.
So is goth music.
Goth music is just about, cemeteries and hating Mondays.
One of the biggest goth bands, right? The Cure.
I will say that
Is emo as fuck.
yeah. And I will also argue that Nirvana is emo as fuck.
Grunge didn't become emo.
Fuck it, did.
Grunge didn't become emo.
I will say that emo is the bastard child of goth and grunge.
He's the bastard child of fucking goth music for sure.
And grunge.
Not grunge.
Yes.
No.
Nirvana. Pearl Jam. Those are the only two grunge bands that I really know. Because it only took me those two bands to go, no, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, well, no. I mean, There's also Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains isn't grunge.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Alice in Chains isn't even close to being grunge.
Jane's Addiction.
Jane's Addiction's just generic metal, or not generic metal, but generic rock.
Let's see. Trying to think. No,
Jane's Addiction is closer to grunge than Alice in Chains is.
and I will, like I said, I will die on this hill. Could grunge help open the door? Basically, pull it along to bands like My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and yeah, sure. There's a couple other emo bands out there that I don't know about because I mean, I barely know fucking My Chemical Romance and fucking Fall Out Boy. And you can sit here and argue with me all day, but deep down, you know I'm right.
I don't know that you're right. I know that you're wrong.
No, Brendy. Grunge is emo.
Grunge is not emo.
It's true.
Grunge is not emo. Grunge is fucking good music.
Some would argue.
Emo is not good music.
Some would argue that emo is good music. I mean, it did.
They're wrong.
And however, you know, the record sales and the popularity of those songs and whatnot tell a different story.
This is because there's an entire generation that came after us that has no taste in music.
I mean, no, that's all, you know, opinion based. So, because I'm sure a lot of those people that listen to My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy also love Nirvana and Pearl Jam.
That's just because it's good music.
Yeah, because it speaks to them for some reason.
Well, grunge music speaks to a lot of people.
Yeah, especially the ones that like to sit in their room and write poetry and cry about their feelings.
For people like me.
Yeah.
But I hate emo music.
You hate modern day emo music.
I hate emo music. I don't like My Chemical Romance. I don't like Fall Out Boy.
Sorry, I was choking on the denial that you were feeding on me.
I don't like those bands.
Well, I'm not saying that you like those bands, but I'm just saying I'm choking on the denial that you sit there and say that grunge is not emo.
Grunge is emo.
I feel like this whole episode's about to fucking go into me arguing. But no, we're not going to do that. Because there are a couple bands from the 90s that I do like.
The Foo Fighters.
And the Toadies.
And the Toadies.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go with Foo Fighters right out the gate.
Oh, well, I mean, you do like Foo Fighters.
But you like the Foo Fighters. I like the Toadies. Now, the 90s did give us shock rock and shock metal by Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson and String Dial and something. I mean, yeah, he's a shithole human being, but
He was a good musician.
yeah. Another incident where, you know, fuck the creator, the art's still good. The 90s gave us fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But the 90s also gave us one of the greatest gates to opening up things that people were just like, oh, I don't know, you know, what's this old net? Because lest we forget, Lord of the Rings came out in the 90s, and that opened up the gates for people to be like, what the fuck is this about? This is great. There's a book? There's a series of books? Wait a minute. Why does this shit read like a damn history lesson? And a linguistics lesson? Because it's Falcon. Think of it like a session in D&D. You start off small, and it just elevates until you get the big boss. But also in the 90s, yeah, that's when, despite the president at the time, Clinton, creating surplus in the economy kind of gearing up for a downfall.
Yeah.
And then they also gave us things that would later come to bite us and bite them in the ass, which was the DAMA Act, Defense Against Marriage Act.
Yeah.
Blowjobs in no office.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't have too many wars in the 80s that we were above it, like big wars, other than what carried over, I think, when Bush Sr. came into office in 88. He started Operation Desert Storm, which another instance where we were like, we really don't fucking need to be there. All we're doing is protecting corporate interests and resources. No, while we were there, should have just fucking taken out Hussein, but his son got to it later. Well, actually, his son didn't get to it at all. Fucking
Obama did.
Obama took out, well, the administration took out both Hussein and bin Laden.
Yeah, but that wasn't until the 2000s.
And then, well, we had the Bosnia incident under Clinton. England had a bit of a kick in the nuts when it comes to war. Because the Falkland Wars, their last little attempt to try to colonize the country.
When was that?
80. I just had it pulled up. Oh, shit. Falkland Wars between Argentina and the UK in 1982. Yeah. The war between Argentina and the UK over the Falkland Islands, which ended with an Argentine surrender after 74 days. Yeah, but it's still, when was the Falkland Islands ever return?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry. So no, I was wrong when I said England took a kick in the nuts. Argentina took a kick in the nuts. So the Falkland Islands remain a British overseas territory, even though Argentina claims the islands. But in 2013, the islands voted to remain in British territory. It was given the current economical climate and things like that. Yeah, might be a smart move, because as of right now, they have an anarcho-capitalist president who ruined their economy and has to take billions of dollars from the United States just to keep its fucking economy alive, even though it's going to squander it and spend it on fucking nonsense, but that's a totally different episode. So yeah, I would say the 90s were all right. There was definitely, you can definitely tell there was a darker turn in pop culture and shit like that stuff from the 80s.
What do you mean darker turn?
Well, you take all the things that were very popular in the 80s, and you know, it was very vibrant, very colorful, and you know, and things like that. And then the 90s happened, and the most popular thing that came out was grunge, in my opinion, which definitely took a darker, more emotional turn.
Grunge, and the other thing that really came out in the 90s as far as music goes is gangster rap.
Which is fucking dark.
Which is very dark, yeah.
Yeah, because hip-hop, you know, in the 80s was... It did, you know, rap about problems and shit that was happening, but it didn't have that oomph to it that 90 brought out when Snoop and Tupac and Biggie and all of them came out and were like, nah, motherfucker, if you're gonna rap about slinging crack, you better rap about fucking slinging crack a certain way. When they go off. What do you want to add about the 80s and 90s?
What else came out in the 90s? So that's grunge, and remember Butterfly Clips?
Really? That's your pull?
I mean, I remember them because I had quite a few of them. I wore a lot of Butterfly Clips. I wore a lot of silver. A lot of the color silver.
Yeah, I can't remember a whole lot of like toys and shit because they didn't have a whole lot of toys and shit. I got a lot of my toys and whatnot from either Goodwill or fucking church giveaways or second hands, and hell, by the time it got to me, it was 10 years too late.
Remember Doc Martens?
Jinkos.
Jinko pants. I stole quite a few pair of Jinko pants.
How the fuck are you gonna steal a pair of Jinko pants?
No, I stole them from a friend.
Oh, okay.
God.
I thought you were talking about like trying to shoplift fucking Jinko pants. Like, what? How? Motherfucker, like, no, you can. You can fit like 3 people in the legs of those motherfuckers.
We once decided to see how many people we could fit in the legs of a pair of Jinkos. I think we got 2 people in them.
Yeah, like also bad fashion.
I love Jinko pants.
Yeah, they were horrible.
I'd wear them now.
Really,
I would.
your clumsy ass
Yeah.
would wear Jinko pants. Jinko is you're supposed to like wear them at floor length,
Yeah.
so it looks like you're kind of hovering with this big old, basically. Even though Jinkos are basically modified bell bottoms,
I mean, they are.
so and you trip over everything. You trip over air.
I mean, this is true, but I would still rock some Jinko pants today.
Yeah, and as soon as you put on a pair of Jinko pants, I'd be like, sit down, no milk, until you change pants. No, I'm good, Steve. Uh-huh. Are you okay? No. You're fine. Get up. No, Lexi, don't. You're good down there. Just stay there. I'm going to go get you a pair of regular pants.
So are you saying you didn't rock Jinko pants?
I tried them on. Friend of mine gave me a pair. I want to see what they were like. And no, I wasn't a fan of them. I did not like all that extra fucking fabric just sitting out there and like, because also Jinko pants are heavy.
They are heavy. Because it's a lot of fabric.
Yeah, I like my clothes light. I like you like. I don't even really like cargo pants. I like they don't have to be tight. I don't like tight fitting clothes, but I want my jeans to fit. Give me a little bit of breathing room for the giblets and the legs. I don't like the tight ass Wranglers that people wear where, you know, you can see your moose knuckle, and I don't. No, I like clothes that are breathable and just you barely know that you're wearing gloves. That's all I like my clothes.
I rocked a lot of Jinko pants. I stole a lot from my friend Cody.
I feel like you rocked a lot of Jinkos. You had studded collars,
I did.
studded bracelets.
I did.
You had choker.
I did.
You had more than your fair share of other bracelets and necklaces.
I did.
So yeah, I imagine like when you were in the 90s, you jingled a lot.
I did. I did. I was definitely into that 90s.
I tried to get into it, but after like a couple months of it, I was just like, no, I'm good. Give me my jeans, my t-shirt. Now, I will say there was one thing that came out that I absolutely loved, and that was fucking Airwalks.
I rocked Airwalks.
Now, I found a pair of Airwalks, and I was like, now hang on. Hang on a second here. And the first pair of Airwalks I got, I absolutely ruined them because they were so comfortable. I wore them everywhere, including when we went down to the creek. We go to the creek, go swimming, and I wouldn't take them off. And I take off my socks, and I just put my Airwalks on and walk in the creek. And I get out, and I just take them and wring them out.
So I remember one thing about Airwalks is you always had like a little emblem on the tongue, and like the emblem would change. Like you could have some that had an 8-ball on it, you could have some that had a carrot on it, you could have some that had, but there's always like that little emblem thingy. You don't remember that?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, there's always a design on the tongue of Airwalks.
You sure you're talking about Airwalks and not Vans?
No, not Airwalks.
Because we also got Vans.
We did also have Vans. I had some Vans. But no, it was Airwalks because I had some that had an 8-ball on them and I had some that had a carrot on them.
No, I just had red roll Airwalks. My second pair that I got, somebody, because I wore them at school and I'd wear them for gym or weightlifting or whatnot, I can't remember what. And somebody stole it out of the locker. And I was like, what the fuck? And then one day, I happened to be going down to
St. Patty's Day parade in a small town, and one of the guys that was with us, I happened to look down at his shoes, and I was like, "Hey, where'd you get those from?" And he's like, "Well, somebody at school sold them to me." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it was this." And he's like, "Why?" I'm just curious. And he's like, "Well, I mean, they just the guy at school." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. Those are my shoes." And a friend of mine, Lisa, at the time, she was like, "Wait, what? How do you know those are your shoes?" And I was like, there's not many people out there in this fucking school that's got those blue fucking airlocks. I was the only person in that school that had that colored blue airlocks. I was like, those are my shoes. And dude just looked at me like, I was like, yeah. So for one, I want my shoes back. And for two, I want to know who fucking sold them to you. You gave me my shoes back, but you never did tell me who sold them to me. Which I'm pretty sure I know who did. But I can't prove it, so.
And it was eons ago.
Yeah. And if I'm correct, it was a family member because he was pissed off that somebody bought me Tommy Hilfiger stuff, and I was like, I'm not wearing this stuff. I'm not gonna wear a Tommy Hilfiger. And I actually took like the Tommy Hilfiger stuff, and I would take. There's a tool, I can't remember what it is. It's a de-threading tool of some sort, and I took off the Tommy Hilfiger like logos and stuff like that.
Mm.
And if I was going to wear it, I'd be like, I'm not wearing anything by Tommy Hilfiger. And I sat there and I just carefully removed all the Tommy Hilfiger like emblems and tags and things like that. And he got so pissed because he was a huge Tommy Hilfiger fan. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm not wearing this preppy ass bullshit. But I don't have any other clothes to wear, so, but I'm not going to walk around with fucking wearing Tommy Hilfiger shit.
Yeah, I remember the kids that were Tommy Hilfiger. Those were not people that I was friends with.
That's another fashion that fucking the 90s brought was the no-show socks. Because guys in my school, they would take their socks and basically they'd put on a pair of socks and then fold them back down and roll them back over if they didn't have ankle socks or no-show socks to have the no sock flow. And I'm still over there rocking fucking crew socks and shit and shorts. I had dad vibes in high school, even though I'd also walk around with, a pair of Doc Martens and shorts. Which I also got to say, Doc Martens, not that fucking comfortable.
Oh yeah, no, they were definitely made for fashion, not for comfort.
No, they're definitely I'm going to make a fashion statement. Because I got a pair of Doc Martens, and after wearing them for a little bit, I was like, oh, fuck. Well, I ain't got money to get a new pair of boots, so I'm going to have to deal with these things. And the bottoms ended up getting cracked, and I just tape them back together. Because I worked at a restaurant, and water would get in them. My feet would get wet, and I just couldn't have that, so I'd just take duct tape and wrap them up. And then one day I found some cool laces. They were redwood anarchy symbols in them. And I put those on there, but then somebody told me, hey, Doc Martens and red laces are synonymous with, being a Nazi. And I'm like, well, fuck! Because apparently Doc Martens are popular with white supremacists and fucking Nazis. Well, they're also one and the same, but if you wore white laces in your Docs, you're a white supremacist. If you wore red laces in your Docs, you were a fucking Nazi. And I'm like, well, shit. Let me get a pair of black laces. But
Platform shoes. Platform shoes were all the rage in the 90s.
well, they really came out in the fucking 70s.
Yeah, they made a big comeback in the 90s.
Wedges, Uggs.
Uggs came out in the 2000s.
Sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. I don't remember anybody rocking Uggs in the 90s. Uggs were popular in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But they also became really popular in the 2000s. I didn't know anybody rocking Uggs in the 90s.
Well, Uggs was one of those things when they first came out. Like, you had to, for one, have mine.
Yeah.
And for two, when they first came out in the 90s, they were fucking hideous. And everybody was like, what the fuck is this? Nobody wants this. But then all of a sudden, some people are like, oh my God, no, they're actually really comfortable. And from what I understand, Uggs are really comfortable.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be caught dead in a pair of Uggs.
I'm going to buy you a pair of Uggs.
I won't wear them.
You'll slip into them one day. And be like, my feet are warm and they're comfortable.
I won't wear them.
You'll wear pants that cover them just so that it doesn't show that you're wearing Uggs. And be like, what? Like, are you wearing your Uggs? No. Are you lying? Yes.
I won't wear Uggs.
Okay.
It's not my fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. But platform shoes, I rock the fuck out of platform shoes.
Do you rock the fuck out of platform shoes or platform boots?
Both.
Because I will say, I bought one pair. They weren't really, well, they were kind of platform. They weren't like 8 inches or anything. They were just like maybe 3, maybe 4 inches. A pair of boots I got from Hot Topic. They were like calf boots, zip ups with buckles and shit like that.
Yeah, I had some. Well, don't do this at home, kids, because it is illegal. But I stole quite a few things from Hot Topic. I stole quite a few things from Spencer's.
I worked at Hot Topic in the 2000s, early 2000s.
So the one here in Portsville.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I was ever there. Like, I wonder if I ever shopped there.
Not during this time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
No, I don't think you ever showed up
Possibly when I worked there, but you might have shopped there when I worked there, just not when I was there. Let's say it was 2002, 2003.
Yeah, no, I would have been shopping there.
You never showed up when I was there.
You just don't remember me.
Also, I wasn't there for very long.
Oh.
Because I also worked at the Olive Garden. I had 2 jobs during that time. And I didn't last very long in Hot Topic because I would always forget my schedule and end up showing up late all the time. Or they'd be like, Harry, why aren't you at work? But like, I don't work today. Like, yeah, you do. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's right. I don't work at the Olive Garden today. Fuck, I'll be there in a little bit. But then, yeah, I only worked there for like a couple months. Even though they loved having me there because I was always the one there like, oh, we got lights out. I hate replacing the bulbs because they had those old, they had the bulbs kind of like we have in our kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And they were way up in the ceiling and hard to get to, and nobody wanted to climb a ladder. And I was like, oh, how? Where's the ladder? And I'd shimmy up there and change out the bulb, and they were like, well, there's 3 more down. And instead of getting off the ladder, I would just walk the ladder. And they'd be like, Harry, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm walking the ladder. You're going to fall. No, I'm not. Just let me do my thing. And one of the women I was working with at the time was like, Harry, you're here. If you're still around during Christmas, I'm going to buy you a tool belt. I'm like, what? Why? And they're like, because you're always doing all the maintenance around here. We save all the maintenance for you. And I'm like, oh, actually, I enjoy doing that. But
You got anything else to say about well, I was going to ask you if you got anything else to say about the 90s?
no, it didn't. I don't remember too terribly much about it. I was in high school and I was in, middle school and high school. Well, junior high and high school. Because I was in junior high in Oregon. And then I came to Tennessee, which Tennessee had a different school system. In Tennessee, you got K through 5, which is elementary, and then 6 through 8, which is middle, and then high school. But in Oregon, you had K through 3, which was elementary, then 4, 5, and 6 was middle, and then 7 and 8 was junior high, and then high school. But now that's just about all I got.
All right, well, in that case, we will wrap up here. So be sure to like and subscribe on all the podcast places. We are everywhere like herpes. And